Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
I am that dude, Bodkins.
Yeah, DP lost like, deep. Yeah.
Right, where he's wondering he's like, I
Had it up, Patty.
He won style, like no weight classes.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's been a couple guys that are like,
It's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy.
That's just not my mentality, bro.
Yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's my always like, hey, somebody helped you out. Why not help somebody else out? Return.
Give a big round of applause for the one and only Bodkins Show.
Or bringing Craig Counsell down the interstate in a move unexpected. I had people.
I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of the Bodkins Show. I'm your boy Bodkins, of course, the host of the show. Man, the voice is still kind of raspy. You can see and hear, hopefully, but we're looking a little bit better. But man, wanted to do a show this evening. Didn't me and Johnny? Johnny had some stuff going on, so we didn't get into this morning's show. But the NBA conference finals is set, folks, on the Eastern side. What year is it? The Indiana Pacers versus the New York Knicks. And I got to get something off my chest before we get into it tonight and bring our guest in. These New York Knicks fans. I see all these clips in New York, and you guys are just acting like you fucking won something. What the you guys got the second round. You guys are acting like you won the NBA Finals. I saw somebody throwing a bag of trash at a Tyrese Halliburton fan, a Pacers fan. Y'all climbing the signs, littering the streets, celebrating. You haven't won anything. I get it. It's been 20. I think they said 25 years since the Knicks have been to the Eastern Conference Finals. Since that was Latrell Sprewell, Allen Houston, and they lost in the finals against Tim Duncan and the Spurs. I get it's been 25 years, but like the once great Kobe Bryant once said, the job's not done till it's done. The job's not done. You still got 8 more wins till then you can celebrate. And personally, I don't think that happens. And now I really hope it doesn't happen. And I want for the Knicks. I love Tom Thibodeau. That's my guy. Jalen Brunson is a guy you can get behind. I just watched a clip this weekend where everybody was shitting on him when the Knicks signed him for all that money. Is he a number one? They don't even know if he's a number 2. I want to root for Jalen Brunson. But you fans out there, damn you New York Knicks fans out there, make you just want to be like, you know what? Y'all don't deserve nothing nice. Acting like y'all won something. Act like y'all did something. If you lose, if you get swept by the Pacers, nobody's even going to remember that you got there. Much less that now. And you guys are acting like you won something. So Carlos is just saying, just wait for what? I don't think anybody in the East is winning this damn thing. I think it's coming out the West today. The Thunder absolutely steamboat raced the Nuggies, and now it's going to be the Thunder and the Timberwolves. I'm excited for that series. You got 2 great young stars in SGA and Anthony Edwards. Can't wait for that. Oh, Carlos is saying he agrees. Fans celebrating too. But so man, can't wait to talk about it with our guests tonight. We'll talk all the playoffs, what happened to his team. We're going to talk a little bit of football as well. I had the pleasure and honor to link up with this gentleman and meet this man when I was in his city in Las Vegas, just about almost a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago now, I guess. It was an honor and a pleasure. Legend of a man. You can hear him on his own podcast, the Audible podcast. Give it up for Mr. Bobby G, baby.
What is happening, good sir? Appreciate you for having me. And yeah, Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so we can't talk too much about that. You know.
Amen to that, brother. I appreciate the hospitality when I was out that way. Man, your thoughts on what transpired of these NBA playoffs so far?
That's a weird playoffs, man. A lot of good games, but I guarantee you nobody had this Final Four.
Right.
You know, a lot of surprises, it just played out weird, you know. The injuries, the timing of injuries.
Yeah, if I'm the NBA, you're praying the Knicks win, right? Like that's the big market. You praying the Knicks make it to the finals.
I don't know.
In fact, Scott Foster will probably help it.
NBA is gonna make the money regardless. I think the NBA is secretly rooting for the Pacers, but because then you get continue to point to the fact that these super teams don't work, and you continue to structure the rules to break up super teams. So,
I mean, the Knicks don't really have a super team.
They kind of do, man. When you think about it, like there's not a lot of teams in the league that you wouldn't take man for man versus the Knicks starting five.
I don't know. I don't think they're a super team because like they didn't. A super team to me is like the guys got together and was like, hey, we're all going to go to this destination. Brunson signed there, right? Like, you know, a couple years ago, everybody laughed at that signing.
Mm-hmm,
they did go out, they made the trade to get Cat. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah. From that standpoint, you're right. Like they didn't ban it, but still, the NBA is still trying to prevent teams from being able to sign multiple max type players.
I think to me, like the Final Four to me kind of reminds me like that it's got that 90s 2000s feel to it where because there isn't a super team where it's like you have two really good players like a 1A and 1B on each team,
right?
And then you have a bunch of really good role players to fill in and do their job. So it's like it's almost level across the board. I feel like.
Okay. You can say it. I mean, well, okay. See, like they're not even done developing, so we can't say. You know, Chet could become a superstar. J-Dub is kind of becoming a superstar before our very eyes. SGA is what he is.
Could be MVP.
Yeah, and don't forget they got 72 draft picks over the next 3 seasons, so they can pick up more potential superstars. Minnesota, you know, Ant is driving the train, and the guys are supporting them. Same with Indiana. They just got a bunch of guys. Halliburton, super underrated.
But if you ask his peers, he's overrated, which is and good for Halliburton and I said this last week, good for Halliburton being like overrate that. You know, you saw it. You're a Cavs fan, so you saw everything that this kid can do.
I saw it at Iowa State.
Yeah,
I've liked Halliburton's game for a long time. Yeah. And it's like I love that he won that overrated poll because NBA players will be quick to snub their nose at fans and saying you guys don't know crap about basketball. Really? Yeah, you guys were the ones that said this dude was overrated. So you know.
And way to put a chip on his shoulder right before the playoffs. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the kid is nice. I think maybe because do you think they say he's overrated? He's a little bit of the more old fashioned. He's not. You know, as far as like point pass first, he's not not today's game where he scores, but he's not jucking up a 20,000 threes a game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say pass first. I would say his game is based on fundamentals. He makes the right basketball. He makes the right basketball play.
He's going to take these KFC boys behind the woodshed.
Hey, he got a chance, and he can do it. He can do it.
That series is going to be good. They got such young stars like coming up. Like we just said, SGA probably MVP. And then you got Ant Edwards. Like Ant is that just like he had his like coming out party last year. I felt like, and is now building on top of that. Like he's just like, man, the way the league is going to be built in the West, like this is our first taste, but I don't think this will be the last time, you know, these two will be dueling off against each other.
Yeah, as long as Minnesota can keep a roster around it, they definitely, as long as they can continue to just fill the roster around them. I'm not going to lie. I'll be the first to say I was not sure the Julius Randle Edwards combo was going to work out. But hey, credit to Julius Randle. He has stepped his game up.
I was the opposite. I thought it would work out for Minnesota more than New York, because Randle is a dog. Like you know what I mean? Like he's more of the inside outside, where Cat, I feel like, is more outside and just doesn't have that physicality and that mindset at times that you need defensively. And Randle can do that. And plus bringing in, DiVincenzo, who could also, I love that kid's game. Like, absolutely. Those guys, I thought Minnesota won that trade. I liked it better for Minnesota than I ever did for the Knicks. Now, it worked in both their favors, because here they are 4 games away from the NBA Finals, both teams, so it worked for both teams.
Winner of that trade is to be determined by what happens next.
And we could see it. They could see it right in the finals. I mean, we could see it. Good. You know what I mean? Like, that would be, apropos, I guess. Who do you like in each series?
I like. I mean, it's hard to go against OKC. So I would pick OKC in 6. But if Ant gets going, and the key is going to be Julius Randle, if he can continue to give him that support, it's going to be a tough series. But I would definitely have OKC as favorite, and reasons why it's obvious. Especially if they play defense the way they play today. Jesus, God help Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, they're the number 1 defense for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
they were jumping passing lanes. Oh my God, that was like watching the AAU game.
Yeah.
And in the East, I'm leaning towards Indiana. Not just because they destroyed my team, but I believe if they can force that pace, I think they'll just wear the Knicks out. I think they're going to wear them out. Tibbs going to run these guys. We already know he's going to run them 44, 45 minutes a game. And if Indiana can just keep up that pace and I think the Knicks will run out of legs the longer the series goes. So I like Indiana in 6 as well.
Ooh, let me talk about Indiana, because you talked about Cleveland. What happened in that series? Like, was it just Cleveland? I know games 1 and 2, they were missing, 3 or 4 guys, key players. And then, the last game, Mitchell's, he's playing kind of banged up there too. It's like, was it just like wheels fell off? We weren't healthy enough? Because, like, that's part of the reason, right? Like, healthy. Sometimes the best team, the team that wins, is obviously the most healthiest team.
Yeah. I'm gonna blame it on really 3 reasons. And like over the week, I've kind of been dissecting it more and more and getting out of my recency bias. I will qualify by saying, 1, completely healthy, we would have won the series. But that's not one of the 3 points. 3 reasons we lost. Main reason, they ran out of confidence. Indiana, they took our confidence in game 2. Once you heard as a fan, or even if you're not a Cavs fan, as a basketball fan, once you heard, okay, game 2 coming up, guess what? The Cavs are going to be missing 60% of their rotation. You're like, there's no way they can win that.
They were winning that game too.
And that's exactly. You get into the game,
yeah,
and they're up 20. And then, Indiana starts to chip away in the second half, but you get down, okay, it's a minute left, they're up 7. Make free throws. We are good. We get healthy. We go back to Indiana. And when they lose that game, I think it was just so demoralizing to the team that it was on their mind the rest of the series. Anytime they got a lead, what comes to your mind, hey, they can come back. And it's like, honestly, was the replacements quicksand?
Yeah.
It was like that. When you see Indiana start making a run, you're like, oh, here we go again. And the fact that we couldn't stop. Anytime they made a run, we could not stop it. It was once that faucet was open, it was just flowing like a waterfall. Everything remains the same. They play the way they play. We play the way we play. If we make shots, we win. I'm going to give their defense a shot. We made 25% of wide open threes in that series. you're not gonna win games shooting like that. If we shoot half as good as we shot in the regular season, we still you could say that's a 6-7 game series. So that's number 2, and 3 is just the attitude of the injuries. And I've come to that realization because you hear what's coming out. Like Jalen Brunson played on a partially torn meniscus, and you're like, okay, Evan, you can't sit out a game with a twisted ankle.
Look at today's game. I mean, old boy had Gordon. What do you have? Like a hamstring,
right?
You know what I mean? Like grade 2 hamstring. They said it takes weeks to and he's limping out there, but he's out there. You know what I mean? Like he's out there. Like you know.
And then look at your own roster. Donovan Mitchell is giving you 150%, and you're sitting out with a twisted ankle. You're sitting out with you got guys you got to play. You can't win the game on the bench.
You can sit out regular season games, but you can't. You can't sit out.
Especially we always hear that quote, right? Oh, such and such is out with this. But if it was a playoff game, he'd be where was that?
Yeah,
you know. So, and credit to Indiana, man. Their guys played. Nobody on the roster played a bad game, had a bad series. They forced their will on us, so to speak, played their game, and they didn't let up. They deserved to win. So, and I mean, quiet as kept, what people would forget, we might have been the favorite. Honestly, Indiana's the more playoff experienced team. Remember, they're in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So they've been here, done that.
Yeah.
We're still learning how to win in these big moments. So, I mean, but they deserve all the credit.
Yeah. Game 2 was a standout game for me now that you say that, because like that game, I even messaged my son if they got say, why the Cleveland Cavs lost game 2 last night is because like 3, what they have, like, especially the last play of the game, Halliburton gets his own rebound. You ain't box out. Yeah. You're getting outworked on free throws. Like you let the offense get offensive free throws a couple times, big times in that game, including that last in that last one. I was like, nobody boxed out. I said, it's simple. It's something that you're taught, that I've been teaching you since you first picked up the balls, how to box out and get rebounds. Like, and then like, it's just like that, those little small things, those small details
absolutely
will cost you. Good teams know how to do those things that are very detail oriented, right? Like you hear from the greats in every athlete, what's the number one thing? Well, they're very detail oriented. You know what I mean? Like they to the T are detail oriented. So sometimes when the level of competition is as equal as it is, that those are the things that will cost you. And it cost them in that game.
Yeah. And this is where, and the other biggest reason, coaching. I would put 90% of it on coaching in situations. I don't think Kenny Atkinson used his roster the way he should have in that moment. Where's Tristan Thompson? We don't need to stop. We already got to stop. I mean, he's on the free throw line. What's going to happen is going to happen. We need a rebound. You close possessions with rebounding. Where's Tristan? Where's Evan? Where's Jared? They should all be out there. I shouldn't have Max Strus on the free. I shouldn't have Isaac Okoro on the free throw line box. Now I need my bigs to first thing secure the ball. Who cares if we miss the free throw, because it still takes time off the clock to go back and forth, And same thing, we're dealing with full court pressure the whole series. Ty Jerome completely ineffective in bringing the ball up to the point where you have Isaac Okoro bringing the ball up. But guess what? We have a third point guard on the rosters named Craig Porter Jr., and he's actually pretty serviceable. Where was he? For what he did in the regular season with managing players' minutes and trying to be as healthy as possible going into the playoffs, all the guys that picked up that extra PT because you're managing minutes, why didn't you give them a shot in the postseason? Like every Cavs fan alive knows Isaac Okoro can't shoot the basketball. Why is he getting split those minutes? Give 8 of those minutes, get Hunter on the court more. Let's give Jalen Tyson on the court, our rookie that we picked in the first round, 20th overall, who actually, quiet as kept, is the third best rebounder on the team. He's one of those guys that just finds the ball. He's actually, and guess what else he can do? He can actually handle the ball. The first game he ever started, he had 16, 11, and 8. Like, and you don't utilize this guy. So it's just, but this is Kenny's really first time being in the big chair for a pressure filled moment like that, and hopefully he learned his lesson for going forward.
And he's going up against a guy who's been there and done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Thoroughly outcoached.
Yeah, I mean Rick Carlisle, out of the 4 left, like he's the one that's got the ring, who's been there and done that. Man, like you got to think, like Rick's been doing this 20 plus years, like in those moments, right? Like people forget, like I think he was the Pistons coach, and then before Larry got there, right? And then
he was the Pacers coach.
Yeah, that he was the Pacers coach in the Palace at the Malice, So and then obviously all them years in Dallas where he won a ring, like he's been there and done that several times. Like you know what I mean? Like he's seen it all and done it all and coached some of the best. So like he knows, like it'll be interesting. And Tibbs has been there and done that too. He's been to the Eastern Conference Finals a few times with the Bulls. And I want to root for him because I like him, and I felt like I always feel like he got a shady deal with the Bulls, so like it's just like man, but his team's always kind of bogged down here. Like this is, you know what I mean. So it'll be interesting because he runs that short bench. He plays every game like it is Game 7 in the 82. So it's just it'll be interesting. That series between the Pacers and the Knicks, I think I'm kind of with you. I think it probably goes 6. I'm gonna lean towards Indiana right now, but man, it'll be interesting. In the West, I'm just excited, man. I really don't know. I think the Thunder could probably take it. I just think they're a little bit deeper team, but man, we're getting 2 young studs that for the next decade we're going to be watching kind of go at each other. Hopefully here in the West. So and like you said, the Thunder, man, you look at like you said, they got 14 some odd draft picks. They still got now. Eventually, they're going to start paying some of these guys. So it'll be interesting what happens. I did hear a take, and let me ask you this: like somebody said, and I know it's hard now, but somebody said they should make the move for Giannis.
But you gotta, are you willing to pay the price? Remember, you gotta make
and a couple draft picks for like Giannis.
Remember, you got to make salaries match. So Chet ain't gonna get it. You got to give up Jason Williams or Jalen Williams. So are you ready to give up Jada up? I don't know. And it's tough. That's a tough trade to make. Yeah.
Alan says, if it's Thunder Pacers, I'm going to trash talk Sam the entire. If it's Thunder Pacers, I just think the NBA is going to. I don't think the ratings for the casuals.
I disagree with that. I disagree with it. I think the ratings will be low for the first game, but if that series happens, you're talking about games being on 150, 160 point pace.
Yeah.
So I think the first game would be low rating, and then people will see, hey, this is transition basketball. It's fine. I think people would tune in for the rest.
Yeah, we'll see. Speaking of we talk about this a lot, me and Johnny too. Like this transition where it's up and down. The Thunder do a good job, but what the Thunder do is they attack the basket, especially on fast breaks. Like I get tired of like just the 100 threes a game. Like, and I think that's what cost Boston a couple times in that series. Like, dude, when the shots aren't falling, go to the basket and create something and go get the simple 2. And I thought that cost Boston a couple times in that series. Now I know game 6, game 4 when Tatum tears his Achilles. Like I thought Boston would win game 5, and they did. And then game 6, I thought the Knicks would do what they kind of did. So, but it'll just be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to disagree with style when we're not talking about a regular team. You're talking about the defending champs. So they have done it and made it work and brought home the gold, doing it. So it's hard to disagree with it just because they couldn't get it done this time. What happens if they rebound and, everybody gets healthy and, 2 years from now, they're right back in contention. You could even use us as an example. Yeah, we were the best shooting team all season, and look what it got us for 4-1 in the second round. But to kind of not completely gas on us, like we don't have an inside presence that we can get the ball to and say, hey, we're not hitting right now. Go get us 2.
Yeah.
Boston actually has that with Porzingis. They can go get a bucket, or Tatum. His post game is pretty strong. So it's hard with these shooting teams. As long as you have a guy when you're not missing, you say, hey, go get us 2. You can swing it, but I get what everybody's saying. Everybody hates the 3-point shootout. No, it's not.
I think it's just old heads like me and you, Bobby. Not really so much. I
don't know if I don't hate it. I hate everybody having a green light. I put it like that. Everybody shouldn't have the green light.
Yeah.
Like when you look at teams like Indiana, literally all 5 of their starters can shoot. Miles Turner has been a 3-point threat his entire career. Pascal Siakam, same thing. He developed a 3-point shot in Toronto. So it's like, okay, all 5 of those guys can shoot. Let's go. But I don't ever want to see Rudy Gobert step outside the 3-point. You know what I'm saying? Like if he starts jacking them up, come on, son.
We got problems. We got problems. Yeah.
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 Kevin Looney. I don't need to see Kevin Looney out there.
Yeah. Bobby, I want to switch topics real quick. First, Pete Rose, I want to get kind of your take here. Pete Rose was instated into the baseball along with Shoeless Joe Jackson and the odd men out, the White Sox. Your thoughts here? Now people got to remember, just because they're reinstated does not mean they're going to be going to the Hall of Fame. Writers still have to vote them in. I've always been under the impression Pete Rose should have been in the Hall of Fame because of who he was as a player. He's the greatest hitter of all time, the hits king. And I also feel like I'm that same way about Mark McGwire. I think all those guys should get in because we're all doing it at that time in baseball. Now, Pete Rose is like the manager. We know he did bet on baseball, which is kind of the golden sin. But he didn't bet on his teams to lose, I don't think, is from my understanding. It's pretty much to win.
Allegedly.
Yeah. But you can put that on his plaque. You know what I mean? Allegedly, he bet on baseball. Tell the whole story. But I just feel like they should be in the Hall of Fame. And I don't know, kind of reading the tea leaves, what everybody's saying. They still don't think Pete Rose is going to get in. I wanted to get your thoughts on this.
I'm a firm believer in if you do whatever you want to do as long as you can handle the punishment when it comes. And in Pete Rose's case, bro, you sign that lifetime ban. So I don't think it should have been lifted. Like you did the crime, that was the punishment, and you accepted it. It's a lifetime is lifetime. You can't sign that and then come out a couple years later like, oh, I didn't. You signed it, bro.
But technically, he did serve his lifetime. He's deceased.
Fair, but the lifetime is the lifetime of baseball. Like it don't matter. We said you did this. We say you're not getting in. You're not getting in. So I was in disagreement with them doing that. I'm not going to speak on Shoeless Joe because obviously I'm not 200 years old and I don't have all the intel on that. What you hear through the annals of time is he always maintained the fact that he didn't I don't say cheat. He didn't participate in throwing the games. Thank you. Yeah. But I don't know that, so I'll leave that to people who know more about that than me. But yeah, on the Pete Rose front, man, lifetime is lifetime. He shouldn't have. And as far as him getting in, if you're gonna put him in, I better see Barry Bonds walk in right behind him.
I agree. I'm in agreement. They all should get in.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
To me, when it comes to baseball is 100+ years old. Like it's the oldest, one of the oldest sports, if not the oldest sport. It's definitely the oldest professional sport as far as I know. But it's like you got to tell the whole story. Like these, especially Bonds in that steroid era, that was a whole era. That was a whole decade plus that these guys were doing this, and you allowed it to everybody knew that it was going on. You allowed it to happen, and just tell the whole story. Just tell the whole story of what it is. It's
those guys saved baseball.
Yeah, you wanted to celebrate, right? Like you wanted to celebrate them when they were playing. He turned the other way, and now it's just like, well, now we're not going to let them into the Hall of Fame because they were. Yeah, but everybody else, a lot of people were. You know what I mean during that time. So, so
I say make it legal just make it legal for everybody. Hey, let's see who's really the best. I mean, because in theory, you're taking enhancers anyway.
It's baseball history. I agree, Will.
They're taking enhancements. You're taking all this powders and supplements. Everybody's on something anyway. Nobody in sports is 100% natural. So,
and we've science and things like that have developed, more and more all time. I mean, you know what I'm saying, like bodies and things like that, and
exactly.
I mean, shoot, we hear stories. We hear stories like of MJ just being like playing, smoking cigars and playing a round of golf and drinking, before games and putting out 82, then going to put up 40 in the game.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't like imagine had he took care of his body, like had all the data and science like LeBron has, you know what I mean? Like, it would have been two totally different types of things, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like how we develop over time, in matter of science. So,
let's not talk about Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah. I mean, Lawrence Taylor's out here doing literally hookers and blow, before amidst to it. He was like, "This is."
I get 4 sacks and a forced fumble.
Yeah. And this guy might be the greatest football player of all time, maybe the greatest defender of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild. You're right. Like, imagine if he took care of his fucking body, So it's just it's wild. It's wild to do that. Speaking of football, Bobby, I don't know if I don't know. I gotta ask you. So you asked for my point of view on this Tyreek Hill Colts schedule. So I wanted to know where you were at. For those who don't know, I'm gonna set the scene. NFL released their schedule today or this week, and so hopefully you watch your teams and everybody. All the teams put out something kind of cool. Some teams simple, enjoyed it. I thought the Bills crushed it. The Titans I liked.
Ours was so trash.
Huh?
Ours was so trash.
Whose was the Browns?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Browns
God
was
awful.
Yeah. The Packers was weird. The Colts put one out, and it was like a Minecraft one, and in week 1 they played the Dolphins, and then they had like a Tyreek getting arrested, but then they did something with Pat Mahomes, and so I said, hey, they took it down. They apologized, and I said they shouldn't have to take it down because I'm a proponent of free speech, and I'm a proponent of obviously comedy. And if it comes from what you're trying to be funny and clever, I'm all for it. But I'm also a proponent of like what happened to Tyreek when that arrest situation. Yeah. I was on Tyreek's side. I'm also a proponent of that. I feel like 2 totally different situations, but in life, like how a lot of people deal with things is when they see a situation like that, comedy is how they use that tool for multiple things, right? So I was like, hey, I'm a proponent of this. Turns out Tyreek said, I thought the shit was fucking funny too. You asked, where I was at, because I said they should have to take it down. Your thoughts on what happened? Because you never said your thoughts.
I didn't. I just kind of put it out there for people to digest, and I put a little bit extra on. I had the graphic with because they had Patrick Mahomes as a frog, and there's a lot comes with African Americans and frogs. Thank you, WB. So I mean, it was just, but he with the Tyreek thing, I get it. I mean, it didn't go. It was funny. If that was it, cool. But then you go to KC. What does my dad have to do with football, bro?
Oh, that was the John Rocker, Pat Mahomes.
Exactly, right. Like, what does my dad have to do with football? If you want to make fun of me, because I can get you back on the field. But what does my dad have to do? And John Rocker, we all know what baggage comes with John Rocker.
Yeah.
So then you put the frog out there. So see, like it all links. So that one, that was a little bit too much because that goes a little bit deeper than what they may think. And I agree with you 100%. Like comedy cures a lot of things, and we have to have a sense of humor about most things. But dude, you're not a comedian. You are a graphic a visual for an NFL
they're
team.
doing it in a comedic. So I mean, they're doing it in a comedic way, and you can do comic graphics in the same way as what is my take on it. And that's how that's just my view. Like it's just different views. So like like I respect what you're saying for sure. I understand, but like also at the same time is like my thing is like it's never the person who everybody says they're offended. You know what I mean? That everybody's like that's offensive. But are you offended by it or like so? Like I'm gonna use just in my own personal situation here, like Colin Kaepernick, right? When he was kneeling for the flag, and people were like, "That's offensive." You're a vet. I'm a vet. We've had this conversation. I think you know what I mean. Like everybody's like, "That's offensive to the veterans." I'm like, "I'm a veteran. I'm not offended." You know what I mean? Like, but I see multiple people. I ain't see them showing up to boot camp, Bobby, and they're telling me it's offensive to the veterans. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you saying what's offensive for me? That's where like my biggest problem is sometimes like, oh, I'm offended. Like people are like, oh, that's offensive about Tyreek. Exactly. Tyreek could say like, it ain't offensive to me. Like I thought the shit was funny. You know what I mean? So like that's where I feel like everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's offensive. Well, ask the fucking person first if they think it's offensive or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's and if it is, then great. If it is, then we can have a conversation about it.
Exactly.
And if it's not offensive, if somebody's gonna say it's offensive for that person, shut up. You just want something to bitch about, not you know what I mean? Like that's just how I view it. Like I used to tell people all the time when when Colin Kaepernick, I'm like, it doesn't bother me. I'm like, I ain't, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like that's a lot. Like people have freedoms to do things. But I just hate the fact that the person who should like they want to say is being offended, and they're like, I'm not offended.
Right. I just don't want again like because these dudes aren't comedians. You're visual and digital artists. So it could become an issue of pettiness. Like I'm a petty person.
Yeah, I think
like if I'm on
the
Chiefs team, I'm gonna put out a cartoon with Jim Irsay in front of a plate with some white substance on it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I would probably be like, all right, how are we gonna hit them back? You know what I mean?
So and then you get into a whole, things escalate. And it's kind of like what you were saying about Knicks fans. And like you get like you saw the video that the guy with the Halliburton jersey being attacked, and it's like everything was fun until he reaches in his waist, and then everybody has a problem. So just be mindful of what can cause
exactly though. But but here's the like when it gets physical though too. Like I don't understand that. Like I don't understand going to a ball game and then getting into with another individual over some shit you ain't even got no goddamn control over. You know what I mean? Like that's like we don't have control over what goes on. Like I'm a good fan. I love shit talking, but like there's obviously a line, right? Like I mean, we say each other suck, team sucks, blah blah. This, you know what I mean? But like eventually, like I ain't never gonna throw no blows over it because it don't matter. You know what I mean? It really don't matter. We don't have no control over that. And then we do see that too many times where the individual can't even go to a game where in the opposing team, and it's just like, somebody wants to talk like shit. Why?
Exactly.
Like, they didn't do anything, or that person didn't do anything. They just a fan like you and me. You know what I mean? Trying to enjoy their team.
Yeah, and first of all, these tickets cost too damn much now to be. I ain't getting kicked out of the game. Gotta be messed up.
Amen to that. I ain't trying to catch a charge either, because then the
stadiums got jails now.
yeah. I ain't trying to do none of that, man. So yeah, it's just it's sad that I hate that that's a thing in sports. Like I hate
Yeah.
that. I just don't understand. You know what I mean? I get shit
Yeah.
talking. I should talk with everybody. Mainly people I shit talk more people I enjoy, like my friends, than I do strangers. Like
That's
I don't
right.
really,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like I don't really just walk up and talk shit to people. Like you know what I mean? Like if you know,
Yeah. If
it's
we're at a
just
bar or at a game and I'm sitting next to you for a couple hours and we just strike up random conversation and get a understanding of who we are, yeah, I'll do it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
just
yeah,
some subtle stuff, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
100% with you.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I rather. I mean, my friends are people that I enjoy. Like we're gonna shit talk a little each other more
yeah,
because we're friends. That's what friends. You know, to me, I tell people I kid because I love. You know, so
yeah.
that's just that's just how my personality. You know, so it's just how I show love to people. It's like you know, if I ain't fucking with you, then you know what I mean. I probably don't like you. You know what I mean. That's just kind of how I
there,
roll.
there it
You
is.
know, yeah. So. I want to ask you something because like I haven't really talked to you really even since the draft. Your thoughts on the Browns draft and who's going to be playing quarterback here? Because you know, is it going to be 40-year-old Joe Flacco? Is it going to be Shador Sanders? Is it going to be Tiny Hands Kenny Pickett? Is it going to be is it going to be Gabriel? You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I'll start with you first with the draft. If it mess with you, I'll mess with you.
yeah, the trade out a
Oh, if
Travis
I
Hunter,
mess with you, okay,
that
I'll
was
mess. I
huge.
was surprised only because of some stuff that I'd heard prior. And, you know, I got a couple people. I ain't Adam Scheffler or none of these newsmen, but you know, I know a
Yeah,
couple people that if I ask them a question, they'll give me an answer.
yeah.
And so I had heard some stuff going on, and then but the stuff I heard after the draft, then it made sense with what they did. So apparently the trade had been done on April 7th. So
Okay.
going in, it was already known. It was contingent upon Tennessee taking Cam Ward number one. So basically, if Tennessee would have got something slick, they'd been, oh, we're taking Travis Hunter or Abdul
Oh
Carter,
yeah, yeah,
we would have taken Cam Ward at 2, and there would have been no trade.
yeah.
So with that, made it make sense. I don't mind them taking Mason Graham. Definitely glad they didn't do it at 2. And I mean, but it just let me know that they're playing for the quote unquote Archie Manning sweepstakes. And
You
in
think
that
that's
case,
awful?
I
I'd
mean,
call it awful being awful for Archie.
it's awful for honestly. I think I think we have Drew Aller a little. I think that would be our time because I heard way before, and I heard this in December. If Drew Aller entered the draft, we would have taken him. So,
Wow.
but either way, I think they just felt the QB talent overall was better next year than it was this year. You know,
Yeah,
people
I mean
had a lot
everybody
to
was
say,
saying that. Yeah.
right? I like the pick of Mason Graham. I mean, our run defense has been suspect for some years. If he can help take some attention away from Myles Garrett, that's even better. We have a young running mate for him to go with, Mike Hall Jr. from Ohio State. He's more of a pass rushing defensive tackle, whereas Graham is that kind of run stopping guy. So putting talent around a potential QB for next year, and you got an open competition. I think Kenny Pickett's going to get traded at some point during training camp preseason, but definitely before the season starts. And I honestly believe that Dylan Gabriel and Shador are competing for day one starter.
Wow.
Because
Flacco be the backup.
Yeah, I mean, he's a champion. He knows the playbook. He's been here before.
Yeah.
We're going back to the style Stefanski wants to play. Henceforth us drafting 2 running backs. Yeah, I think Dylan Gabriel and Shador are really competing for day one start because you have to find out what you have. You have to. If Shador is what some people think he is, we got to find out now. We can't wait to play him till week 10, and ride it out. Same with Gabriel. And the word I heard on Gabriel is a lot of teams liked him because he kind of had the mentality of he wouldn't I mean, obviously we want to start, but he wouldn't mind being a backup, a lifer backup QB didn't hurt his feelings. They could see him being like a Chase Daniel type, where he could be that backup for like 10 years. So
that's a good role. Like, I mean, if you were, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't got to play I just got to go to work every day and make a meal. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And learn the game. And then when I'm a vet, I can teach the game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, of course he wants opportunities to, but I heard that was it wasn't the impression he gave off, but it was like people felt he could be comfortable in that role and just, hey, he can.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Cut them checks for the. So drafting him didn't impair their plans for 2026, but it got to a point where the value of Shedeur was just too much. It's like this dude, regardless of how you feel about him, he was a top 30 talent at minimum. Like, even if you think the worst of the guy, he was a day 2 guy, round 2 guy at worst. And
I don't know. I think a lot of people, depending on who you listen to, he was probably, 3rd or 4th round, I thought, at the latest, latest.
Yeah, even that, you see that value just gets this like why not?
But I don't think I don't think he did himself favors in interviews. It doesn't sound like at times, and and I love his dad. I think Deion's one of the best players in history. I love I even love it. A lot of people don't like his person. I love his personality. But the thing of it is like, and I don't know, I don't know Shedeur, like, you know what I mean? And it doesn't, to me, it doesn't even seem like he has like that type of personality like his dad is. But if he has it a little bit, he is not as talented as Deion either. You know what I mean? So like Deion, like people would be like, if you're gonna act that way, but or you know what I mean, as they say, but like that demonstrative, like Deion could do it because he was the greatest corner of all fucking time. Top 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Like, there's not many guys, Bobby, that are playing baseball and playing in the Super Bowl, World Series and the Super Bowl at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
It's like he was special.
Yeah.
One of one. And I don't know if you can say that about Shedeur.
I mean, we can only go with what we hear, and it seems like people are taking are we listening to the wrong people? I mean, we'll never know what happened in those meetings, right?
Yeah.
The leaks should come out, but
right.
What do we know?
Yeah.
Tom Brady has vouched for this kid.
Yeah.
Apparently, Tom Brady's opinion don't mean anything because
I was surprised the Raiders passed on him several times.
I think that's a Geno thing. Like, Geno probably is like, oh, I'm coming to start. If you're gonna put me in that position, don't trade from me.
Yeah.
So same thing Kirk Cousins should have did.
Yeah. And I was surprised the Steelers passed on him so many times because I've said this before. I firmly think Aaron Rodgers is going to be there because like they can't go in the playoffs. They can't start a season with Mason Rudolph as your number 1. Like they just can't. They can't.
They can't, but I mean, we've seen Mike Tomlin work magic his entire career. But
that's
with you.
That's too much magic. I feel like, Bobby. You need Harry Potter and then some. You need Harry Potter and all his friends type magic.
I don't mind it. They can go in there with Mason if they want to. I won't be mad.
I'm sure you won't be mad as a Browns fan.
But yeah, I like Shedeur's chances at being day 1 starter. And honestly, I don't know if I'm sold on him. I like the moves he's made since he's been drafted. He's been in the community. He's basically been in Cleveland since about a couple days after the draft, working out. Even he found a little spot in the city to work out before he was allowed officially in the facility. So he's doing all the right things. He's saying all the right things. And like I say, if you believe the strong points of his game are what they are, they're the things that Kevin Stefanski likes. He likes quarterbacks who think the game. He likes QBs who are accurate, and he likes QBs who can be on time. He's shown the ability to do all of that. And over the last couple of years, however successful or unsuccessful we've been, you've seen when we have QBs who can do that for Kevin Stefanski, we've been successful as a team. So, we'll see how it plays out.
Is it make or break time for Stefanski?
Not this year.
What? You think he comes back next year?
Yeah, they got this year. They got this year. Now, next year, you can't mess up. If you find out, either one or two things is going to happen. You're going to find out Shedeur is not the guy. Okay, we're going into next year. And next year, you're drafting your guy because we have the ammo to potentially move up. Or,
especially with the Hunter trade.
Right. Got the extra draft pick. So, it's going to be all you. You're going to get your guy, and you got it. That guy is going to be day one starter. No question. And it's get to work time. You probably got half the season to determine whether you're going to lose your job or not. Or the other way this plays out, Shedeur or Gabriel could be that guy. And okay, now you have ammunition to build the roster next year. We get, talent, or we can, maneuver and get more picks to get more talent. So, but yeah, this year they kind of got to pass. The only way that it's if it's a complete disaster, and I mean, our schedule is tough. Everybody knows that, but it would have to be, it just can't look bad, as long as we're not getting washed like 30-3 every week, the offense is moving the ball. Hey, we're just catching some breaks, some rookie mistakes here and there, things like that. But the team looks like it's trending in the right direction. They're good.
I got you. All right. What about real quick before we get out of here? What about the Guardians? What's your take on there this season so far?
Every year it's the same with the Guardians. They have to make me believe. They have to they have to make me interested in baseball. I'm not a huge baseball fan.
Yeah.
But I support my city. But they have to make me believe. Last year at this time, they were making me believe that they were the best team in the American League at this time last year. And but this year, slow start, that rotation. Tanner Bybee, I hate Tanner Bybee. Every time I watch him, it looks like he's turning around watching the ball go out of the stadium.
Real quick, Bo wants to know y'all ain't carrying four QBs. You kind of said this earlier, but I believe it's Kenny Pickett is what you're saying.
Yeah, Bo. I think our three QBs are going to be Dylan, Shedeur, and Flacco. I believe the New Orleans Saints will pick up the phone at some time and come get Mr. Pickett.
Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
Exactly. Put some respect on his name.
Tiny hands Kenny Pickett. Pittsburgh might need to call him back and ask for him back at this point in time if Aaron doesn't. Man.
No, that price too high. They ain't paying that price. If Pitt trade him in division, yeah, we need at least second or third rounder. So
that's true. Who wins the division real quick? You think? I mean, I know it's super early. Here we are.
Baltimore.
In May. You think? Yeah.
Easy. Baltimore. Yeah. And I don't think Cincinnati's defense isn't good enough to overtake Baltimore this year.
They got to figure out that Trey Hendrickson thing.
They do.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
I mean,
you paid everybody else. Pay your best.
They're playing a dangerous game, man. They spend all their money on offense, and if they score in every possession, then it makes sense. But the minute you get stopped, you got to worry.
Yeah,
they're the NFL version of an NBA team. They're shooting all threes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to win games. It's gonna be Madden. It's gonna be 45-48 in their game. They're gonna have to win. They're gonna have to average 45 points a game just to win. Right.
Yeah. Sad thing is they could do it.
Yeah. No, they can. They got the right quarterback. The two wide. Chase Brown, I think and they drafted. I think they went out. They drafted another running back or right like man. Yeah, they got they're offensively a squad, but defensively, man, they're going to struggle. I feel like.
Yeah, and they also have to overcome that demon of starting slow every year.
Yeah. They said they seem like they start 0-3 every year, 0-4, and then it's like then they gotta
playing catch up the rest of the season. So
yeah,
if they can figure that out, I just don't think they'll be able to keep pace with Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm right there with you. All right, well, Bobby, before we get out of here, you got anything else you want to lay out, or let the people know where they find you?
Oh, you can find me every Friday for sure, right here. Audible Sports Podcast, where sports meets life and culture. Me and Wildcard Mar. Shout out to my bro from another Mo. And then of course on Thursdays now we do reactions. So you can catch us on Thursday. We react to all kind of stuff. Our last episode might interest you. We did reacted to Street Beast video, backyard. Yeah. You're in.
Yeah,
that was a fun one. So Thursdays is at 10:05 Eastern, 7:05 Pacific. On Fridays, a little bit earlier, we're at 7:05 Eastern, 4 Pacific, and then of course you can also catch me on Tuesdays with the Rec Room guys. Shout out to K Witt and Jay on the MIC. And also, Tanner. And actually, I'm going to link up with Tanner after this. And
he's out in Vegas right now.
Yeah. And Fridays also with the Rec Room crew on In the Hoop. And then, whenever I'm needed in the Bodkins universe, hey, here I am. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, hey, make sure you eat heavy and prepare to drink a lot with Tanner and them boys. They can pound some beers.
Hey, that's as long as you got a coin in the machine, they free. So it's you drink away.
Amen to that. Give Tanner the money he needs to come back to KC.
Nope, he belongs to Vegas now.
Yeah. The JG's he belongs to Vegas. He's the guy that's you probably got to worry about the most out of them buffoons. So, Bobby, I can't thank you enough for joining me tonight.
Appreciate you for having me, bro.
I appreciate it as always, brother. Big ups to you, my man. I enjoyed meeting you out in Vegas. It was a pleasure. Thanks for the hospitality as always, and we'll be back. I'll be back later, folks. Tune in to I'll be back at Head Kicks and Haymakers 8:00 Central on Wednesday night. Me and my guy Bobby Blunts and Widow be back in a few weeks. He's about to have wife's about to have a baby, so he's been off for a while, but he'll be back. And then other than that, we'll be back here later. For my guy Bobby G, make sure you guys check him out. All the great stuff he does. I'm Bodkins. My voice is slowly going, so we'll see y'all next time, folks.
Peace.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.